Stage 13 was the time trial. Here's the course. It was the only time trial of the race individually, 27.2 kilometers, and it belonged to Julian Alaphilippe. Man, the big question before the day was, can he keep yellow? He showed, yes, I can keep yellow and I can extend my lead. And now everybody wants to know, how long will he keep it? And I'll get into that later. Here are the main results for the day, and you will notice that most of these guys are GC riders. We didn't see a whole lot of time trial specialists that were fighting for the victory, and there are two main reasons for that. I think number one, it was a hilly time trial course, and it looked a little hilly on the profile, but on TV it looked even hillier than I thought. So that's one reason why. Another reason, it is stage 13. We haven't seen that many mountains yet, but there have been some hard days, some very stressful days. So I think a lot of the bigger guys were tired at this point. So let's do some math here, and then I'll get into the Alaphilippe debate. We'll see that Geraint Thomas, he finished second. He was 14 seconds back. So he's now a minute and 26 seconds behind Alaphilippe. Rigo Uran, he was 36 seconds back. That was a strong performance for him. But if you look at the GC, he's still 3 minutes and 54 seconds back. That's pretty far back. Same goes for Richie Port. He was within 45 seconds of Alaphilippe. That's a pretty strong time, but he is 4 minutes and 44 seconds down. Steven Kruijswijk, he's in pretty good shape. He hasn't really run into a whole lot of trouble during those first few stages, so he only lost 45 seconds today, and he's only 2 minutes and 12 seconds back, so he's within striking distance. Next on the list is Thibaut Pinot. For him, this was a great result. He only lost 49 seconds on Alaphilippe, but that crosswind day really hurt him. He is now 3 minutes and 22 seconds back. Without that day, he would be sitting in pretty good shape. And here we have Enric Mas. He only lost 58 seconds, and he's 2 minutes and 44 seconds back overall. But you have to wonder how much support he's going to get now. I think Alaphilippe, you have to consider him a serious threat at this point. So Mas is within good striking distance. He just has to hope that Alaphilippe has a bad day. And then we cross into the minute barrier. Fuglsang, he did okay. He lost a minute and 7, but he's now 4 minutes and 29 seconds back. Bernal, he was a bit of a disappointment today. He was a minute and 36 seconds back. So now he has a 2 minutes and 52 second gap. And the two biggest losers of the day in my mind were Nairo Quintana and Adam Yates. Quintana lost 151, so he's now 3 minutes and 55 seconds back in GC, and that puts him at a tie with Adam Yates, who lost 2 minutes and 8 seconds. And before today, Yates was in pretty good position, but he had a bad time trial, and now he's not looking so great. Here's a look at the new GC. We see Alaphilippe, he remains on top. He's now a minute and 26 seconds ahead. Thomas is in second. Kruijswijk is 2 minutes and 12 seconds back, but not too far on Thomas. So if Alaphilippe does crack, he's in good position. Mas has been steady. No one's really paying attention to him. He's fourth at 2:44. And Bernal maybe didn't have the time trial that he would have wanted, so he's in fifth at 2:52. On a sad note, Wout van Aert, he had a crash and he has been ruled out of the race. He's had such a great year. That's too bad for him. So the big question on everybody's mind is Alaphilippe a serious threat for the overall race now? When I first saw the results, I was surprised. My first reaction was, hey, he's for real. He's a real threat. He could win this race. You don't win the time trial by accident, especially over someone like Thomas. So, but as time went on, I'm thinking, am I overreacting to this? We've seen guys have strong starts to the Tour, and obviously the guy that comes to mind is Yates in the Giro last year. He was setting the Giro on fire, and he had probably a better time trial than everyone would have expected. But when he cracked, and he lost tons of time. So could the same thing happen to Alaphilippe? The most interesting thing in my mind is, how does Ineos play this? Do they see Alaphilippe as a serious threat, or do they just ride their normal race, set their tempo, and have faith that Alaphilippe is going to crack one of these days? Or do they see Alaphilippe as a serious threat, and do they think that they need to attack and make up some time? And if so, I think the most reasonable thing for them to do is send Bernal up the road on an attack, try to wear down Quick Step, and Alaphilippe. I think Alaphilippe will have a bad day coming up, probably in the third week, but maybe in the next few days. If he went too hard today, there's a difficult stage tomorrow that we're going to look at here, and he could go out the back. And I think once he cracks, he's going to crack huge. So let's get right to it. Here's tomorrow. This is a short but action-packed day. It's 117.5 kilometers, but you see there's a Cat 1 and then it finishes atop the Tourmalet. Here's the profile of the Tourmalet. It's 19K at 7.4%. And we've heard a lot of talk about there's a lot of elevation this year with climbs finishing above 2,000 meters. And this is one of those climbs. So the Tourmalet, a long one, super difficult. And you see there are stretches over 9% in the last 3K or so. The breakaway has a chance tomorrow, but I think that the GC guys are going to race the Tourmalet so fast that they are going to catch the breakaway on that final climb, and we're going to see a GC rider take the victory. Obviously, I would expect Ineos to control this climb. They're going to set a blistering pace as usual. I think they can afford to be patient with Alaphilippe for now, see how he handles a true high elevation mountain climb after a hard time trial. Just see how he's doing, see if he is showing signs of weakness. If not, he could actually win a stage like this. If he's in a select group, he's a punchy guy on steep climbs, he could win here if he isn't in trouble. I could also see Geraint Thomas winning this stage because he looked good on stage 6. For him, he said he was disappointed in the time trial that he didn't perform well in the heat. So he may want to stamp his authority on this race and say, okay, Alaphilippe isn't for real. I'm going to show him who's boss on the climbs. Another thing to consider is, like I said, Ineos could send Bernal up the road and see how Quickstep and Alaphilippe react to that. So Bernal could be a good pick for tomorrow as well. However, I'm going to pick Thibaut Pinot. He had a pretty good time trial. If not for that stupid crosswind stage, he would be within striking distance. So he has some time to make up. He does look strong. I think he could get away if Thomas and Alaphilippe are sort of looking at each other. So overall, I would predict Ineos. They do their train, they set a difficult pace, and they look at how Alaphilippe reacts to everything. I think Alaphilippe, he can hang today. He's still riding such a strong wave of emotion and form. I think if he's going to crack, I think it will wait until that final week. So this should be a very exciting stage. Don't miss it. I'll see you tomorrow.